Welcome to the ACC Big Ten Challenge presented by Continental. We are tied at 1. Nebraska with a win over Clemson. Boston College won yesterday as well. From here at the KFC Yum Center, where Louisville has never lost a game in November, but big resistance today from number 9 Michigan State. Jason Benetti, Dan Dockich, Molly McGrath along with you. This Michigan State side has won 5 in a row. They've looked very good. A dynamic backcourt for Tom Izzo.
I think you can make the argument that it's the best backcourt in the country. Langford and Winston, they scored at a high level, 18 points a game. They assisted at a high level. Cassius Winston, I think, is the best point guard in the country. I want him running my team. He pushes the ball, he makes great decisions, and he makes others better, and he has a huge basketball IQ. Best backcourt in the country you're going to see tonight.
They're without their third member, though, and Molly McGrath has that story.
Yeah, that's right. Matt McQuaid did not make the trip to Louisville after sustaining an injury at the end of the Texas game. His status is day-to-day, and Kyle Arnes will start in his place. And Joshua Langford told me this really disrupts the chemistry of their veterans, calling McQuaid their glue guy and saying they'll miss his tenacity and toughness on defense the most, Jason.
To your point, to Molly's point, Kerwin Roach had 32. And when Texas played Michigan State in the championship game in Vegas, guess who was guarding Kerwin Roach?
Mr. McQuaid.
Mr. McQuaid.
Take a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Geico. For Louisville, a change. Jordan Wara, who's come off the bench to lead this team in scoring, gets the start. And the first three is down for Stephen Enoch. His third three of the year. And Louisville has the lead as we look at the starting lineup brought to you by Geico for Michigan State. Early turnover for the Spartans, right back to Michigan State and going.
Stephen Enoch looks like a pro. Shot it like a pro there. Transfer from UConn. Didn't really play a whole lot for the Huskies, but he's gotten second life here.
You know, we talked to Tom Izzo at shoot-around today, and he said, look, some of the shots are a little erratic for Louisville. This one won't be. Sutton the flush, 5-0. There's a reason they don't lose here in November. Wild shot and a foul. 2 shots coming for Nick Ward. 24th season for Tom Izzo. He's in the Upper Peninsula Hall of Fame. That happened 20 years ago. 6 times they've led the nation in rebounding margin under Tom Izzo, whose smile is known by officials everywhere.
That is a sarcastic smile, a grimace really, at his own team. 10 turnovers in the first 10 minutes against Texas, and now all of a sudden 2 turnovers here early. When Michigan State doesn't turn the ball over, Tom Izzo knows he has a team that can compete for a national title.
Meantime, Chris Mack, in his first year at Louisville, he's out of the Cincinnati area, left Xavier where he went, and has Louisville right now at 3-2 after a tough overtime loss to Marquette. Ted Valentine having a short discussion with Bert Smith on the far side. Maybe it's about that game where he gave you a good call to get you a win, Dan.
It is. He really put it to Seth Greenberg at Virginia Tech. But I digress. They're looking at the ball. I think there's something came off the paneling of the ball.
Jamie Lucky will tell Dan. What's Jamie's word, Dan?
Jamie's word is Ward said there was a bump in the ball, which is why he missed it. So they looked at it, and they got a new ball.
Free throw number 2.
There you go.
That was the ball.
It's always something.
Player don't lie. High screen from Enoch, and a one-handed push for Kristen Cunningham, who had a season-high 16 last time out. This is where Michigan State will really hurt you, pushing the ball up the court relentlessly.
I'm going to show at the under 12-minute timeout exactly what they do. What they do is Langford runs as hard as he possibly can down the left side. Arns runs the right side, and the bigs run like crazy. They do that make or miss, but it's all predicated on a high IQ point guard, and there is nobody, I'm telling you, nobody in the country smarter than Cassius Winston.
Nobody. Enoch, by the way, 2 personal fouls, so he has to come out. Akoy Agau, who was at Louisville, transferred away, and now he's back, comes in.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. He was at Louisville, then he went to Georgetown, then he went to SMU, and now he's back at Louisville.
After graduating from Georgetown, taking grad classes at SMU, and pursuing his MBA here at Louisville.
I called my son. I said, they're getting 6 years. Go play.
Andrew's fine coaching. Dwayne Sutton warded off by Winston and taken away. Arns 1-on-2. Had it blocked away by Sutton. It'll stay Michigan State ball, but transition defense is so important for the Cardinals in this game.
Well, it started with great defense on one end by Cassius Winston knocking it away. Now Arns gets it, and you see he's measuring. Sutton is measuring and blocks it with his chest. The rare block with the chest.
Cunningham caught a piece at first, then the finish. As they'll let Ward go one-on-one. And he can't get his own rebound.
That was really good defense. You take away the right shoulder of Ward, and you've really eliminated him. Agau did that.
Louisville 3-2. Game at Seton Hall coming up after this ACC Big Ten Challenge. Catch and shoot opportunity for Cunningham, and a whistle on the rebounding action. And the Cardinal fans are less than pleased. It's on Agau, who came in for Enoch, who's in foul trouble.
I like Agau. Agau plays with passion. Plays like that Kappa Sig guy right there. He got angry in the middle of the game against Marquette.
Was he wearing a hat indoors? Like a winter hat?
It's cold out. What kids do they do it, Jason?
Well, thanks for telling me.
That's how us kids do it.
You're so in touch with the younger generation. Oh, a little extension of the arm from Winston, and it's a turnover.
You mentioned the extension, but it was started by great feet by Wara. Wara stayed in his stance, squared his shoulders right here. He squares them, shows his hands, moves his feet, gets a charge, gets a travel.
That's an offensive foul.
I like the travel before the offensive foul.
He pushed him out of the way, Dan.
Then he traveled. Let's go with the travel. Let your good players play. Let's just go with the travel.
Wara is fouled. He'll go to the line. Louisville gets nearly 31% of its points from the free throw line this year.
And a lot of it is this kid right here, Wara, because he is an attacking. Wara is one of those players, Jason, and I'm going to say this probably wrong, but he's just crazy enough. Like, he doesn't have a conscience. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to go try to make a play all the time because he is confident, I guess. That's a better way to put it.
Well, you remember last year we talked about it in the context of Purdue with Carson Edwards.
Right.
They had so many guys that you knew what you were going to get. He was crazy enough for them.
Let's go crazy/confident enough.
But you got to have a little crazy, don't you? I agree with you.
That's why I say crazy first. Like, really, Michigan State doesn't have that. They just have solid, really good players that fit each piece, each place on the court, like this right here with a three.
Langford the miss. Rebound snatched down by Perry in Louisville. And a whistle as Agau filled the lane.
When you just run the middle of the floor, it's called Main Street. Good things happen, but you can't jog it. You've got to sprint it, and Agau is a high-energy guy. He's a big, strong kid, and when you combine it with a great energy, you've got something pretty good. Not always going to be great because he's not highly skilled, although he shoots free throws fairly well.
10 for 12 this year and 1 for 1 here.
Watch this. He's just running. You see Zero. He's just running right down the middle. He beats Ward. He runs past Goins. Telling you, big kids out there, just run hard and you get good stuff.
So Louisville's been talking about that the last couple days defensively. Maybe that helps them offensively today.
Well, you practice against it, which means you're talking about it, which means you get what you preach. And if you're preaching defensive transition, you have to run to create it in practice, and you're exactly right.
Chris Mack told us earlier, I do not want to use my first timeout or the first TV timeout to remind my guys to hustle. That's not going to happen here. That's a foul called against Langford, and that's his second personal. He just got the last one not 30 seconds ago, and he's going to have to come out.
Hey, look, this is transition. Ball is pushed, drive. Agau comes opposite, sets his feet outside the ring. Telling you, play like that. Play with energy. Live life with energy, man.
That's the most upbeat thing I've heard from you all day. It's joyful. It's Walton-esque.
It's going up.
Wara, a little flat, and a one-handed rebound for Xavier Tillman and Michigan State. So now Winston without Langford. Goins high-low to Tillman. And the three goes down for Arns.
Boy, that was nice basketball. Middle of the floor, Goins high, Tillman on the block, didn't force it. Not a great pass, but Arns caught it with his toes, knocked it in.
Missed the whole year last year, redshirted, now a junior, Arns. Wara's always looking for that shot.
He is. He's old school. He's up to, I got to get 22 shots up a game. Feel good about myself.
How about Perry right in Winston's pocket, and a foul called against Agau. That'll be 2 on him. 7-6, a dandy early on.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire, for what you do, and in part by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Not sorry, Reese's.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Lively night at the Yum Center. And a one-point game as we check in with Molly McGrath.
Well, in that last time out, Tom Izzo was incredulous with his team, telling them, you look slow, you need to push the ball and get to the rim. He wants them to front Nick Ward, look for that seal in the middle, and open things up a little bit in the paint guys.
He told his team during the first, I think, 10 minutes of the Texas game, this is the worst team in the history of basketball. I love that he is not afraid. And then later in that same huddle, Josh Langford, when they were down 16, told Coach Izzo, we're all right, Coach. And
yeah, that's not a good idea.
He said, look at the scoreboard. We're not all right. We're down 16. And then Langford started making everything, and they won going away.
I don't know if there's a better Tom Izzo than frustrated Tom Izzo. Face gets red.
Nobody gets Fran McCaffrey red, but Tom Izzo gets implode red.
Cardinal red. Bunch of free throws so far in this game. Sutton got into the body. Goins off the deflection. And they will push. Louisville gets back well. Langford out with the 2 fouls. McQuaid out with an injury that he suffered in the Texas game. He is not on the trip. And Wara the rebound.
Well, that's a nice drive by Henry, freshman kid out of Indianapolis. Really going to be a good player, going to be a pro. Just missed it.
Where will the points come from for Louisville?
You know, they're going to come from Wara. He's going to try right here. Williams.
It's a sophomore, Malik Williams. Yeah, tough shot.
That's bad business right there. You can see when Williams got it, he was not giving it up, and he needs to.
Well, he's one of 8 kids in the family. You got to take what you get. Winston giving up some height against Wara. Arns into the post, deflected away, and 10 to shoot. Winston, close range miss. Field goals sparse.
This is where points should come right here. Darius Perry, 11 points a game. He's built to score. Had a bad game against Marquette.
Right there it is.
Yeah, you could just tell. You know, they kind of forgot about him. He is a guy that is built to get buckets.
What you could see as he was coming up the court, that last possession, he was done with that.
Yeah, he had had enough of watching Malik Williams play offense.
Here's Henry and a travel. Go inside the play, Dan.
Well, Molly was just talking about it. Michigan State wants to play in the middle of the lane. And when they do, right in here, you're going to see really good things, and it's going to end up kicking it out. It shrinks the defense. Winston, really good. It gets into a high-low. No shot, throw it down. Defense shrinks right here. Wara, kick it. This is Tom Izzo basketball. It is not complicated, but it is very difficult to defend because the post guys post to score. They don't post to pass. They don't post to hang out. If you're a post guy, Post up. Get 2 feet in the lane and post a score. Bury your man.
So how was the help from Wara on that?
He was very lazy.
Yeah.
It was very bad help, and they took advantage of a guy not giving total effort.
There's effort.
Yeah.
Williams, I'm scared I'm thinking like you. That's a problem for me. McMahon for 3. Ryan McMahon cans it for Louisville. Off the deflection. Michigan State will keep. This is the 20th annual ACC Big Ten Challenge. After our game, Duke trying to rebound from that Maui Invitational loss to Gonzaga. Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, number 3, Duke against Indiana next from Cameron Indoor. You can also watch it live on the app.
Indiana's going to play Duke really well.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Indiana's got 2 terrific guards. They're both freshmen. It's going to be tough. But I look for Devontae Green, if he's healthy, to have a big impact. He's a guard. He's Danny Green's brother. He's a big-time scorer when he gets it going.
12 top 25 teams in the ACC Big Ten Challenge as Winston sinks a 3 for Michigan State.
He's not good. He's great. You're talking about a kid that just lets the game come. What do you need, Coach? Throw it ahead, he throws it ahead. Throw it to the post, he throws it to the post. Create, penetrate, find the next, he does. Shoot it in, he does.
Smart kid, too.
Brilliant kid.
Hard drive for Dwayne Sutton, and he'll get himself a couple of free throws on the foul against Marcus Bingham Jr. A lot of freshmen for Tom Izzo off that bench.
This is an interesting lineup, or it was an interesting lineup when they had Lawyer in, who's a kid that's scrappy and they really like.
It's not interesting anymore? You don't like it?
No, it's a basic lineup right now. It's, 4 starters. It's not that interesting.
Sutton the free throw.
Dave.
I don't need that. I spent 3 days with Walton. You don't need to do the impersonation, thanks.
I love this Sutton kid. He plays hard. Big South tourney MVP as a freshman for UNC Asheville. He's one of those guys that just goes. And that's why I think Louisville's going to have a terrific year. I think they're a big surprise, picked 11th in the ACC. I don't buy it. Chris Mack, too good a coach, too many athletes, too old a team, and they're tough.
They're just going to get better. Tipped out of bounds. Play-by-play guy's dream. Dan Dockich leaving the table. See ya. Beat it. Dan's going to tell you more about the Michigan State backcourt after this. Cassius Winston off to a good start for Michigan State. What are they doing, Dan?
They're getting the ball to him quick, and when you watch how they play, they sprint down the floor. Langford sprints down the left. Arns sprints down the right, and Winston has to figure it out right here. Big guys running. Do I throw it over the top? Do I come off a ball screen? Tom Izzo has his guys running certain spots. Langford left, Arns right, big guys right down the middle, and Cassius Winston absolutely takes care of the basketball.
There it is. That's exactly what it looks like. Right down the middle of the floor, fan it out to the baseline, and off you go. So Michigan State trailing by 3 off 5 from Winston. Langford back in, and a miss. He's got 2 fouls, so playing on thin ice here. You worn out? It's a long walk. We'll have 94 feet, I'm sure, later during Indiana Duke. McMahon, his second 3 and a 6-point lead.
How about McMahon? He doesn't start for the first time, doesn't sulk, comes out, drills 2 shots. That's a Dickie V recruit right there. Dickie V told Pitino he needs to recruit McMahon. He's from Sarasota. Kid's delivering in a big way. Not sulking. Do not sulk.
8th 3 of the year for McMahon in 5.5 games. Down low, Ward, his first real good look, and he missed it.
He just went big kid in 8th grade right there. Just backed everybody down and went and tried to get a bucket.
Now they're really in McMahon's pocket, and he carried it.
Yeah, McMahon having to make 2 or 3 dribbles is bad business, but McMahon clicking his heels and having a little bit of space, you go under the screen, you don't close on him. He's going to knock this out every time. The kid from Sarasota not sulking because he didn't start, coming out and contributing. That is what you do if you're a player.
As a high school senior, he shot 51% from three-point range.
It's pretty good.
Don't care who you're playing. That's not easy to do.
A lot of guys can't do that in the locked gym with nobody in there.
Tough post feed. Ward skipped his feet. Turnover, Michigan State. Hey, Wednesday, 20th annual ACC Big Ten Challenge continues. You saw Virginia close up. They'll play Maryland, 7:30 Eastern, then North Carolina and number 7 Michigan at Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. Another fun night of hoops, ESPN and the ESPN app. How good's Virginia?
I think Virginia is good, but I think the talent disparity between the top 3 teams, Gonzaga, Duke, and Kansas, is way wide compared to Virginia. But Virginia is so well coached. They play defense so hard. You know what? They'll play anybody. They'll play well. They'll be right there at the end to win the conference title. They'll play well in the game against Maryland.
Barnes comes out for Michigan State.
It'll be interesting to see if Michigan basketball gives up more points than Michigan football.
You're not making any friends in Ann Arbor, but I'm certain Sparty is loving you right now. Talk about playing to your audience. You got a Michigan State game on and you're bagging the Wolverine football team. That is a smart thing.
They gave up 62. North Carolina will get more than 62.
You think so?
I do.
So Georgia currently number 4 in the college football playoff rankings. Oklahoma number 5. Do you think the Buckeyes can sneak into that 4 spot?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll beat North Carolina or Northwestern by 100. I think.
Come on.
Well, I do. I think
that's the Big Ten Coach of the Year you're talking about, Pat Fitzgerald. Now
playing arguably in the easiest side.
Okay.
In the Power 5.
It's still very good. 18-11. Louisville with the lead, largest 25. Lead for the. Still saying something?
Well, they are trying high-low, and they are trying it.
Langford. Way short, might have forced that one.
I think he got hit in the arms.
And a foul called against Goins. Molly, save me.
Well, speaking of football, guys, I talked to Louisville's AD Vince Tyree about their head coaching search for their football team. He said there are 4 to 5 candidates that they're considering, and he's hoping to finish the process by the end of this week or at least into the weekend. He told me the biggest challenge is that some of their top candidates are coaching in games this weekend, so that gives you a little hint at some of the candidates that they're considering, guys.
Molly, thank you. There have been some rumors about a native son possibly being the next head football coach here. You'd imagine he's in the mix. Jeff Brom.
Well, Jeff Brom is the guy. I mean, Jeff Brom of Purdue is the guy they want. I mean, he's a legend here. His family's from here. There are reports that maybe they met today with the athletic director.
There were other reports that
that
deal was going to be done as of yesterday. So sometimes reports can be incorrect, as I've noticed. Quan Ford to the free throw line for a couple shots.
I swear, a guy is sitting to our left in the first seat, and when he walked in, I thought it was Jeff Brom. I did. He's sitting right there in the white, and I didn't get a good look at him, and I'm like, whoa, Coach Brom is here. Good.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, the guy right there.
That's not Jeff Brom.
No, it's not. But when you look, he comes walking in, and it came in at a time when people were cheering. I turned my head. I thought, wow, all right, we got a scoop.
So that's where you get your scoops from. 20-11 Louisville. Largest lead for the Cardinals. And we got a foul against Louisville.
Yeah, Jamie Lucky saw Gow just really tied up with Nick Ward at the elbow. And I'm telling you, even though that's his 3rd foul and that's not a smart foul, it's not a bad foul because you have to fight Nick Ward early. You can't let Nick Ward get set up and then try to play defense. If he's at the elbow, you bang him, you fight him, you hold him, you do whatever you got to do.
Gow is going to spend most of his birthday eve on the bench, it looks like. He turns 24 tomorrow. What do you need offensively for the Spartans here?
Well, they got to get Langford going. He's got to be the guy, Langford or Winston. They have tried to go in the post, hasn't worked.
Winston the lob, smacked away, and a foul against Michigan State.
This is great defense. Louisville is moving their feet. They're keeping people in front. See Williams, he sees the ball. He keeps his hands above his shoulders, and he gets a deflection. But it all starts because he sees the ball. When you are in the lane, you open up. you see both sidelines basically. When you're on the side, you close and contest. But in the lane, you do what Williams did, and it was fantastic, and they got the turnover.
Isn't there a little bit of Gorgie Jang in there just in terms of the length they had with him? Not the same type of shot blocker, but the dissuading as that three goes down for Winston. He's got 8 of the 14.
Yeah, everybody coming in is long, and I'm including Sutton in that. Williams is long. Agao is long. Sutton is long.
You remember when they had Gorgie Jang, though? Nobody wanted to go to the hoop.
No, and he influenced people.
Sutton pulls the trigger with grand confidence.
Izzo is internally combustible right now because nobody is contesting shots.
Foul on the body. They're going to get Perry down low. I mean, he told us during shoot-around today, he said, look, they take some wild shots. But if we don't get out to the shooter, they're going to make some of those wild shots.
We saw McMahon drill 2 shots. They didn't get out to the shooter. This isn't really a wild shot. You know, I mean, that's not a great shot for most people, but he's feeling it today. And if you watch Langford on that, his hands are down. There's no energy from his body to the offensive player. There's no faking. There's no head faking. And you know what? You're going to do that, you're going to get beat, or you're going to catch an earful at halftime, which is always fun.
There's that patented crossed arm look.
And he's got something to say right now to Langford. He's telling him right now what I just told you. If you're not going to contest a shooter, you're going to sit. And Langford saying, I got 2 fouls, coach. I'm telling you.
So what do you want from him?
I want him to, you don't, just because you contest a shot doesn't mean you're going to foul. You get your hands above your elbows, you fake at him, you jab at him, you step jab at him, and you make him off balance, and then Sutton misses. And I also want him to put his head and shake it going, yes, you're right, coach.
Instead of being defensive.
Well, Izzo has a thing where he doesn't mind that, and I dig that. Now watch here. See the hand came out? No shot. Hand came out right there, no shot. Hand came up, no shot.
How Tom Izzo described it as having their hands behind their head as they challenge shots today.
Well, hands behind whose head? Because their hands were out in front into the man, which is what you have to do. You can always back up. If all you got to do is get your rear end down, bend your knees, keep your weight even, and extend your hand, and you can take away a quick jump shooter.
Catch and shoot, Winston, no sir.
Came off his hand dead right. Came off his pinky and his ring finger.
That glare can break a window right now from Tom Izzo.
I don't blame him. His team is not playing right now.
Wara got it for 2.
All right there. Little big-to-big switch. Nick Ward switched to Wara. His hands were down. Wara went up to shoot. Easy shot.
Izzo's saying, yeah, if we do that, we're going to lose.
I'm glad Molly gets to interview him at halftime, not me.
We wish her the best of luck.
Watch the hands down. All right, a little inside screen right here. 5 screening 33. There's your switch. Hands are down. Now they go up. It's too late. Get your hands up.
Jay Billis said it about Duke and Gonzaga. It's a Final Four game with fish tacos out in Maui, and Duke, Indiana's going to be great, too. Watch Izzo in the huddle here.
So many coaches are afraid to coach. They're afraid of players. They're afraid of hurting feelings. They're afraid of mommies and daddies. Look at Izzo. He don't care. Langford's his leading scorer. Langford's his co-captain. Langford's giving it back, but I love it.
Well, guys, I heard what Tom Izzo was saying to Joshua Langford. Langford was clapping, telling his team, we're okay, we're good. Izzo said, I ain't good. Stop telling him we're good. We're frustrated. He also got on Langford saying, you're not leading our team with your energy, so I don't want to hear from you.
See that's self-confidence from the coach there, right, Dan?
That's exactly how you can do it. I mean, and that's what happened in the Texas game, and Langford turned out to be right.
But that defensive possession doesn't make anybody smile and green.
That was as bad a defensive possession as they have had this entire game, if not the worst. And good for Louisville, just taking it and going.
Gabe Brown, the jump shot, very needed for Michigan State, now trailing by 9.
Wow. Gabe Brown, 1 for 3 all year on threes, just lifts up in this, and this is a great environment. Great, not good, great, fantastic. And he just lifted up.
Wara does too. And the rebound for Michigan State. They have never lost a November game in this building. Louisville 36-0 all time. And a foul off the ball. Williams was jockeying for position.
Williams went low for the tackle. Then he got back up. He and Ward were fighting like crazy in there. Ended up getting the foul, but he went low, man. He went to the chop block.
It's a penalty normally.
And he got it.
Saw Aaron Henry check in, a freshman for Michigan State. Henry was born in Louisville, then went to Ben Davis High School in the Indianapolis area, but certainly an important game for him, the freshman Henry.
Ben Davis, home of Morton Anderson, who just got his NFL scoring record broke by Adam Vinatieri, also the home of Indiana great Randy Whitman.
I thought you were going to say Morton Anderson just got his second bar on his face mask. We're still waiting for that.
Those were cool in the day. See, look at Langford on the bench. This is what I think is great. You can see Langford, number one, standing up on the bench. He listened to the coach. He didn't want to hear it.
Williams ducks in and put it on the rim for two.
And they put Nick Ward in a ball screen. And again, good for Louisville. There we go. That's nothing. Because Louisville didn't settle for a jump shot. Williams just went right by Ward. Look at Williams. Williams is playing great. He is battling Ward, and he's offensively playing well. Look at this.
Why not? Third three for McMahon.
They're playing great because they're not settling. Little ball screen. Put Nick Ward in a ball screen. Make him make two plays. He comes out too high. Look at Williams getting low. Malik Williams with a nice drive. And then here, this kid did not get a start tonight. And you know what he did not do? He did not sulk. What has he done? He has drilled 3 threes and provided great energy.
Almost got his hair taken off in his celebration. They love him here.
This is a great environment. This is absolutely fantastic tonight.
Tillman. No. Oh, Williams deterred the shot, but it still went down.
Yeah, pretty good by Goins. Goins was off balance, and he found Henry, and Henry just took his time and went and laid it in. If I'm Tom Izzo, I can't stand my team's energy in this game. We're getting driven. We're fouling. If I'm Chris Mack, I love my team's energy on both ends. We've been tough inside if you're Louisville. We've been physical inside, which you have to be. And you've kept your own man in front of you very actively on defense. It's been Chris Mack and Louisville. It's been a great, great first 15 minutes.
So who do you go to if you're Tom Izzo and say, you got to help us in the energy department?
Langford. Hey, look, dance with who brung you. And Langford's coming in right now. But he's got to be the guy. I would keep Henry in there. He's taking Henry out because Henry's bringing a ton of energy as well. But Langford, if you're going to win this game, it's going to be Langford and Winston making plays.
We'll see how Langford responds after the talking to on the sideline. Louisville busy at the free throw line, 9 for 13 tonight. Those are two guys you want something from, Winston and Langford. Winston's got it tonight. Langford only 2.
Look at how into everybody. They're switching. They're into the guy.
Winston. And a block call. Little side swipe. When you say into the guy, what do you mean?
It means their shoulders are forward, their hands are out in front, and they're locked in a stance, doing their best to move the offensive player back on their heels. Now, Williams made a bad play. This is a good call here. McMahon is sliding into him. But look, how many times have we seen Michigan State come out with their hands down, no energy into the ball, and Louisville's just lifted up? It's the complete opposite by Louisville.
Maybe Tom Izzo's trying to get some energy from Jamie Luckey.
Tom Izzo begging right now.
It's true. That's 11 for Winston. He's got 11 of the 24 for Michigan State.
Well, you look out here, who's going to score? It's got to be Winston. It's got to be Langford. And I'll give Louisville credit, man. Darius Perry has really taken it on and defended. Not good, great.
Again, they're without Matt McQuaid, and Tom Izzo told us earlier, he said, I don't know what I'm going to lose, as McMahon curls.
I was going to just say, so behave. That one went in.
Is that an Austin Powers?
It was.
It's about 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Foul called against Perry. I got to do a promo.
All right, I'm excited.
30 for 30 documentary, Last Days of Night, premiered in April on ESPN Plus. Television debut Thursday, 7:30 Eastern. Behind-the-scenes story of Bob Knight and the investigation. You can watch it on the ESPN app as well. You have the real behind-the-scenes story to add. You should be part of like the deleted scenes of that.
They asked me to be in that. I said no.
Why?
Let the man live his life. I mean, to me, Coach Knight, not bothering anybody. Story's been told. It's apparently Robert Abbott did a great job with it. I haven't seen it. My wife told me we're going to watch it Thursday.
Oh, Kyle Arns to the rim.
Well, there's a little energy. This is almost the exact game of Texas. Almost, except they didn't get down 16 yet. You feel like they're getting blown out, but it's only an 8-point game.
Yeah, I was going to say, they make a run here. Could be tied at the half. Quan 4, a lot of dribbling to shoot. Not a great possession for Louisville.
Hustle.
Tillman down to the deck. Langford didn't travel. Tillman finishes.
I'll live my whole life and not understand how that's not a travel. People going to tell me that's a Euro step. LeBron James will call some nonsense grab dribble. I have no idea how that's not a travel. I'll live my whole life and not know.
Euro step's not nonsense, and neither is this.
All right, I don't know. I know this is a pretty good drive, though. Arns just went by the whole Louisville team and dunked on everybody.
Looks like John Starks from back in the day, doesn't it?
Wow, what had happened was...
Take care of the ball. They got 9 turnovers already. And by the way, challenge the threes. Louisville's 5 for 10. Hey, Dan, how do you think that halftime's going to go with old Coach Izzo and his team? Could be interesting. What do you think?
I think Coach Izzo is, if he doesn't implode, I think there'll be some stuff thrown. I think there'll be some swear words.
But they're on a 6-0 run, Dan.
And a lot of it depends on how the rest of this half goes.
4. That's his name. We're not golfing.
Short.
Well short. Offensive rebound for Henry in the reload. Ward showed the screen. Winston doesn't use it. 8 to shoot. Winston against 4.
Man, it's 4 guard.
Winston gets it up anyway and missed it. That's a shot clock violation as we check in with Molly.
Well, Jason, Chris Mack was upset about that Kyle Arns dunk before the timeout. He said, if we don't beat ourselves, they can't beat us, but don't judge our game by how we're playing on offense. That's false confidence. He really wants them to lock in defensively in these final minutes of the half.
You know, again, this is just like the Texas game. Shaka Smart said the same thing to his team during a run. He said, hey, look, you guys are falling in love with that other end, meaning offense, and this is the end that's going to win it for us.
Cunningham turned the corner right there.
I love that kid. I think Cunningham is going to be a terrific player. He, as a junior, was 10th in the country in assists, scored 11 points a game. Nice fake.
Out of the state of Kentucky as Ward scores for 2. Cunningham played for Ellis Miles on the AAU circuit, former Cardinal great.
Cunningham is the perfect guy to come in here at this time. He's not going to try to do too much. He's going to get others involved, but when asked, he can. He's averaged 7.5. Here he goes again.
Wara lost the ball. Fight for it over here. And taken away by Tillman. Nope. Arns flied in. Couldn't find it. A little early on that shot.
Yeah, I think Winston's trying to press a little bit too much. Tom Izzo's telling him we don't need that either.
Fine line, though, right?
There is, because he's a guy averaging 18. He makes good decisions. You're not mad at him for shooting.
Williams. Might be mad at him.
Yeah, you know, Chris Mack has the same disgusted look, except his hands go to his hips.
They don't cross.
They don't cross.
He's offsides. Izzo's delay a game.
I think you want to get it inside here if you can. You got to look at Ward, I think.
Working hard.
Yeah.
Tough catch.
Yeah.
And he scores. That was beautiful.
Yeah, Izzo got on Ward 2 possessions ago, and Ward handled it really well. And you see he's clapping now, really excited. Get it back, you go back there again. End the half. 4-point game. Can't believe it.
Wara. Tough shot. Down to the deck. And we've got a tie-up. It's going to Michigan State.
Ward came from outside, moved in, and went into Williams. He didn't let Williams come into him. And what that does is that created space on the left side of the lane.
And how many big guys would do that with such a bad post feed?
Interesting you say that. Most big guys get in the lane. If they don't feel contact, they just spread out to get the ball. He didn't feel contact. He initiated it, which gave actually, it made it so much easier for a post feed. It made it so much easier for him to go to his strong suit, which is the right hand. Initiating contact is huge in the post. I'll go right back to the horn set. One guy will pop high, one guy will go low. I assume it's going to be Ward popping low. There it is.
There he goes.
Got to give it in.
Wanted to go high-low. Williams fighting him hard. 5 to shoot. Going to have to be Winston, and it's an offensive foul against Michigan State.
I'm telling you, 4 is all over Winston. He is doing a great job of getting in and frustrating Cassius Winston. Watch this right arm. Right there. This should take an hour.
Looking for a possible flagrant one.
I got to think it is.
Yep.
I think part of it was frustration because 4 is all over him. And I do think that he took that right arm and extended it into his face.
Intent doesn't matter.
If intent doesn't matter, which it's not supposed to.
That's right. Take a look. Did he get him in the face or did he sell it?
They're not calling it, so.
Looks like common foul.
Yeah. You know what? I like that call. I mean, to me, it's almost impossible to get a flagrant foul when you're driving. I know that you can. I know that it's a good rule, protect the player, all that, but I really like that non-call.
Cunningham, the fade. Nearly at the buzzer. Louisville gets a little bit of separation late. Michigan State with its fewest points in a first half this year.
Be fun to talk to Coach Izzo right now and then talk to him after this halftime.
Molly's with him right now.
Thank you, Jason. Coach, what frustrated you most about that half?
Well, Josh has played so well in the last game, and that's what you got to worry about. You know, that you let the game come to him. I didn't think we let the game. I thought him and Nick got frustrated, and give them credit. They did a good job, and yet to be only down 6, probably pretty good the way we played.
What did you guys do to bring it within 4?
Well, we got the ball back inside to Nick. We went a little high to low. They were helping out a little bit. Cash is about the only guy that played real well. So I think we get a couple guys. We get Josh back in the game, get him to play well. The foul trouble hurt us a little bit. And that's where we missed McQuaid a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Jason.
Molly, thank you. Thanks to Tom Izzo. Michigan State trailing by 6. Jay Williams, Seth Greenberg. This is the ACC Big Ten Challenge presented by Continental. And Michigan State trailing at the half. It was more in the first half. Now they whittled it down to 6. Jason Benetti, Dan Dockich, who's huge here in Louisville. Michigan State, a win on Friday. They had to do it in comeback fashion. We back there today?
Yeah, we are. And one of the reasons, 4 assists, 11 turnovers. I mean, their passing has been ridiculous, Michigan State's, but I'm giving Louisville all of the credit. Just like you got to give Texas in this thing here a lot of credit. It's almost the exact same game, Jason.
It's like you're talking directly to the graphic. That's very nice. How do they do that? How do they make that happen again?
Well, number one, you got to handle basketball. I mean, you can't over-dribble. You can't throw the ball in the bad spots in the post. You cannot turn the ball over more than 4 times in this second half.
All right, Molly McGrath caught up with Chris Mack. Molly? Molly's working on her charades. We'll get back to Molly in a moment.
Don't turn the ball over if you're Michigan State.
Yep.
And drive the basketball after swinging the basketball if you're Louisville. And put Ward in ball screens. There he is.
There it is.
There it is.
Enoch sat out most of that first half. He hit a 3 early, then got 2 fouls. Perry in the crosshairs for 3. And out of bounds it goes. The Cardinals will keep it. What do they lose when Enoch's not in the game as he was for most of that first half?
You know, they lose offense. They lose the ability to stretch the floor. He can shoot the basketball, NBA body. But I thought they got good inside play. I thought Williams was tough, really, really tough in that first half.
Back to Molly.
Hey, Jason, sorry about that. I talked to Louisville's head coach, Chris Mack. I asked him, how did Michigan State bring it within 6? He said, well, they're a good team, and we had some defensive lapses there at the end of the half. He said, we need to keep them out of transition, stressing that. I know that Michigan State had 0 points in transition, but he doesn't believe the stats tell the story there because they found some opportunities off of fouls. I asked him, who's going to set the tone on defense? He said, we'll see. They don't have that one star. He's going to look to all of his players on that.
Molly, remember what he told us before the game? Chris Mack said, look, we did so much team stuff, and he wouldn't typically do that in the offseason when they have those opportunities to practice before the year. As Enoch gets called for his 3rd foul, he's still trying to learn this university, who fits together properly on the floor together, so learning who that defensive guy is still coming.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt about any of that. And one of the things, I was talking to Kenny Klein, who's the longtime SID, and he said, you know, summertime was great for this team, and Coach broke everything down. First thing he did, first day, pivoting. Just trying to teach fundamentals, trying to get guys into his way.
There's Langford for 2.
And Jason, you remember we talked to Chris Mack. He said it was hard to figure out the little things like, where do I sit on the bus? Does the coach sit in the front or the back? And when we watched shoot around, you could tell there's still a lot of teaching going on with Louisville.
Yeah, it was a very systematic scouting report based shoot around where you see some guys around college basketball, Dan, music's blaring, it's pretty rah-rah up and down the floor. This was very much about the game plan and nuanced pieces of Chris Mack installing his way.
There's a ton of ways to go about it. You know, Jim Boeheim, I'm going to do the game tomorrow. They don't have a shoot around. When Bo Ryan was at Wisconsin, shoot around was optional. And Tom Izzo goes through everything, including jump ball, free throw block out. There's just a lot of different ways. What I learned is get the best players and coach them tough, really tough, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, but you've got the lackadaisical transfer rule where it's so easy to leave a program, especially for a grad year. How do you still coach guys tough right now?
I don't think you can worry about it. I think as long as you're fair. Like Thursday night, they're going to have this thing on Coach Knight, and it's going to make him look like a crazy person, all that kind of stuff. But as a guy that played for him, you know, I always appreciated it. He was fair. If I played hard and played well, I played. If I didn't, I didn't. And that went for everybody.
Ward down low for 2.
Ward got low, which isn't normally said. Ward is an upright guy, but he took a move to his right shoulder, got lower than Enoch, went around him, and because he got low, he was able to cover some space and lay it in on the other side.
Why does that matter so much?
It matters because you're going to get bumped, you're going to get banged, and you can play through things if you're low. If you're upright, you get knocked off balance.
As Perry was there, and he got it on a wraparound pass to Sutton.
I'd go to Sutton if I was Chris Mack. I think Sutton has a great look about it. There's Ward again.
He wants it and missed it strong.
Well, he missed it strong because he's playing hard. You know, you just don't want a big guy not to get it over the front of the rim. He got it over the front of the rim.
So you're good with that possession?
Yeah, I'm great with that possession. I love the energy. Now it's going to be whether or not Ward can play through a miss.
Wara had it blocked by Tillman.
Get low and you get strong. Watch here. Ward's in there. He gets it here. Now, shot fake stays low, wraps around under, and he ends up on the other side, and this is just a great shot. I would go to this kid. Sutton has been fantastic, and I think he has a great look about him tonight.
He's one of those kids that transferred up. He was at UNC Asheville. You mentioned in the Big South Conference in the lovely mountain town in western North Carolina. And he's got 13 tonight of the 43 for Louisville. Williams willing to shoot. His first from deep this year.
It's amazing when guys play hard, shots go in.
Well, Tillman wasn't ready on the big-to-big pass. Double came, he scores.
He wasn't ready, but he did a great job of holding on to the ball to get ready and get on balance and make a move.
Seen that a lot over the years from Michigan State, big-to-big stuff.
Yeah, and the big gets off balance, you just hold on to the ball. You've got the advantage when you're on the block. If they throw it here, Williams will have the advantage.
Foul called. If that's Langford, that's his third. Winston got his third just about a minute ago, and each backcourt member for Michigan State with 3 personal.
Well, Winston's was really dumb. He reached in, and Izzo was yelling at him, like, why would you do that? But Langford's was just playing there and bent bump to bump, and Langford hasn't been there today. And Izzo said it to Molly. You know, he's played great, not good, great all year long. He's just struggled today.
Tom Izzo referenced it at shoot-around this morning about his offensive game, that sometimes he'll get impatient, but it has shown sometimes defensively. Malik Williams is a dude tonight.
Yeah, he is. Both ends. Tough as you know what on the defensive end.
They turn to Henry, the freshman from Indy. 4 has been in the pocket of Cassius Winston. They lost Arns, and he missed the jumper. Michigan State will hang on.
Telling you, Jason, in basketball, if you just play the game as hard as you can play, and this kid Malik Williams has done that mostly on the defensive end, and it's paid off offensively. Best he's looked all year.
Join ESPN and the V Foundation in the fight against cancer. Visit v.org/donate. All donations benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Bob Valvano, color analyst, our colleague as well. He does color with Paul Rogers on the Louisville Cardinals radio network, and a wonderful guy. Has some great stories about his brother Jim. And V Week this week, we appreciate everything you can do at v.org/donate.
100% goes to cancer research. Everything you give, it's awesome.
It's touched our ESPN family. It's touched so many families out there, people watching the game.
My mom whipped breast cancer.
Michigan State 9 to shoot, and Tillman down the lane for 2.
Well, that was pretty good by Tillman. He took the ball in a tight spot, and instead of settling or maybe backing it out, he just went straight to the rim.
If you want to hear about dedication, he moved to East Lansing the day after he graduated from Grand Rapids Christian in high school. Takeaway for Michigan State. They love to push it. One of the top 10 transition teams in the country, and that was deflected out of bounds. Spartans will keep it. What are you laughing about?
Izzo. Oh, man.
He's picking a fight with both of his guards tonight.
He is hot because of the sloppy bounce pass by Winston, and he said some swear words, which personally I think is the only way to talk sometimes to players, but there he is.
Downstairs, Tillman's playing hard. He's got 2 more, 6.5.
That is a problem with the scouting report. That's a little inside screen for a big that Tom Izzo has been running since the 80s. Judd was running, true story, Judd was running that. Same exact inbounds. All you do is switch it defensively. They missed it.
So you're saying it's on the tape?
It is, yes.
That faded for Williams. And the rebound for the Spartans. Winston scanning, eyes up.
Izzo wants the ball inside here. High-low. That same cross screen. They got the ball where they wanted it.
And now Winston pops out. Rebound, Goins. Henry didn't want to shoot. Now he does. A little disjointed.
Yeah, he just popped that. That ball had no spin whatsoever.
Oh,
Bad
Sutton.
Shot. That's a bad shot.
Which leads to this.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And this guy's a genius right here in transition.
Arns. The breakdown on defense from the bad shot on the other end.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Cassius Winston's going to take it as deep as you want, and there's always a shooter in the corner.
Suddenly, this is a three-point game.
Boy, where's VJ King?
Haven't seen him at all. Hit ahead, Winston.
That's a bad call. I was watching that. That was two guys touching. I don't know if they tried to pull Winston, but you have to have contact to foul somebody. Watch this. Tap away.
Was it behind the play?
It was his backhand as he was running got a little bit touched.
Now they're going to come to the monitor.
Might have got Izzo for a technical.
That's what it looks like. Izzo can't believe it. Jamie Lucky's pointing in the Michigan State bench. Fouls on Williams. It's a coach's box warning against Michigan State. One more look at the foul, Dan.
How's the foul on Williams?
He reached second. There's a little contact.
Cunningham, that's Cunningham.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Williams was behind the play. Unless there was something we didn't see, but I saw what they saw. That's not a foul. That's just playing basketball.
Five in the all-time series. 3 regional finals have pitted Michigan State and Louisville.
Great defense.
Goins the find to the corner. The freshman Henry with the miss.
Man, Louisville got on top of everybody.
Got to look out for McMahon. He shot the lights out in the first half.
BJ King or Wara here.
Sparse playing time today for King. McMahon off the bounce. Well, that's knowing your scouting report right there that McMahon was going to pass.
Stay with him. Yeah. I mean, once he puts the ball down twice, he made a bucket in the middle of the lane in New York, but if he's going to make buckets fading away in the middle of the lane, and good for him. You just let it go.
Quan 4-2.
Tom Izzo just put Langford in.
And he lost the ball on the way up. This is Louisville basketball. Tough night for Langford.
It is hard when you're not mentally prepared, as Tom Izzo, as we saw early in the game, was yelling at Langford to get himself into the game. It is really hard to go from not ready to ready. It just is. People think they can turn a switch, and next thing you know, you're going to play. Well, it doesn't happen that way in basketball. Not in a game of this high caliber and this intensity.
This is a kid who does not have very many bad days either. Langford was the state player of the year in his classification as an 8th grader. 5-time 3A player of the year in Alabama. And it has been...
He's a first-team All-American right now.
At 29 last time out, they get the foul. Agao is going to the line for 2 shots. Now into the studio, and Dan Burke. From the Yum Center in Louisville, this would be a massive win for the Cardinals if they can hang on. Under 12 to go. Number 9 Michigan State on the ropes.
They're on the ropes because Louisville has been really tough. From inside out, they have been tough. And I think this kid here, Agao, who's played limited minutes, and Williams have been a big part of that. They have battled all game long. Enoch hasn't played a whole lot. Only played 4 minutes. These two guys have been really good, really tough.
Okoye Agao on the Gabe Kaplan plan. He started at Louisville. They welcomed him back this year for one more season. Crowd wanted to travel. Instead, they get a swat from Agao.
Yeah, really good. Agao just stayed down.
Wara swashbuckling to the rim, and he gets fouled.
This is a great play by Agao. He missed a free throw, didn't mind. Just went down the floor. Langford forcing things a little bit into traffic, and Agao, as you say, stays down, reacted from behind and blocked it. Kind of tippy-toe blocked it. I love that kid. That kid plays hard.
There wasn't playing time for him initially. His first couple of years here, that's why he decided to transfer. Goes to Georgetown, gets the degree from there, through SMU, back here where they can really use him.
Did you say Gabe Kapler? Welcome back, Carter?
Gabe Kaplan, yeah.
First I thought you said Gabe Kaplan, the manager.
That is a different program. 53-45. Louisville trying to stave off Michigan State.
Man, 4 is guarding. I mean, hard.
Arns, no sir. Goins the reload.
And 4 was right there to take away the step-up 3.
Winston the drop off, and 2 shots coming for Tillman.
Everything is hard. Louisville is playing so hard, and their length is so great that every single possession is difficult.
4 ran through Agau to work defensively as Agau just picked up his 4th personal foul.
4 hasn't done 2 free throws, but he's been great at frustrating Cassius Winston.
Did you see that? He threw Agau out of the way to chase the ball to the wing.
That's knowing your role. And that's accepting your role. That's being mature also.
Quan Ford transferred from Richmond by way of Huntsville, Alabama. He was a track star in high school, football player as well. 1 for 2. Louisville back-to-back losses, Tennessee and Marquette. McMahon to the rim. That did not look great. Winston figures, why not? Offensive rebound for Tillman, and he has it stripped away. They'll keep it.
But that was a great play by McMahon. Tillman got the rebound, and Jason, he grabbed it hard, like you could hear the snap, and McMahon just knocked it away. So we'll see if that saved 2 points.
Langford bumping. Langford leans in, and it crawls off the rim. Rebound McMahon.
Just can't get it to go.
Oh, McMahon wanted it, and it never got there. That could have been tragic for Michigan State. As Dwayne Sutton's been massive.
Right from the get-go, hit the first shot of the game, hit a 3, and Dwayne Sutton has that approach, man. He is tough on tough today. He's played defense. You see him running the floor right there, blocking shots. He's hit 3s. There's a lot to like about Louisville's team, and Dwayne Sutton is one of them.
So he started the last 3 games last year for David Padgett. Now Chris Mack has him in the starting lineup, and very active night tonight. King, who didn't start, can't score.
Well, how many shots have been missed in the lane by these 2 teams over the last 5 minutes? I don't think anybody's tired. I just think they're missing.
Arns stuffs it again. Suddenly a 5-point game, Dan.
That was a great play, busting it down the floor by Winston. Arns ran with him, didn't stay wide, cut to the rim, found him.
You can hear the nervous energy in this crowd right now.
I'll go get fouled here. Don't fade away.
Big arm into the body from Enoch, and he missed it. Michigan State loves to push. Winston, follow is there. Tillman for 2. It's a 3-point game.
Now you can really hear the trepidation.
It's like they can't decide whether to cheer or not.
You fly down the court, good things happen. Can't really see. There he is. There's my guy Arns. Usually he stays wide, but instead he just slips behind VJ King. And I'm telling you, there's nobody slicker with the ball than this kid right here, Cassius Winston. He misses, and there's Tillman. Tillman ran the floor really hard to get in that position. I'm telling you, run the floor as a big guy. You can average double figures just doing that.
You talked about Winston in the same class as a guy like Mateen Cleaves. Tom Izzo has mentioned that name.
Well, Cassius Winston's a guy that got into Harvard. He's a brilliant kid. Handled all the stuff last year better than anybody else in the entire university, in my opinion.
Ward lost control.
You know why he wears a headband?
Why is that?
Because Baron Davis was his favorite player.
Real good one from UCLA, Baron Davis. The lob, Ward the finish, flying through the air. It's a one-point game.
This is Texas. This is the same game. Start out awful, then all of a sudden the main guys, whether this game it's Winston, the other game it was Langford and Winston. But this is a heck of a move. Little ball screen. You put Enoch in a situation. Nobody comes over to help. Sutton watches. Layup. You got a game.
All right, you're going to stay here right after the game. That's an order. Sonic Blockbuster, Cameron Indoor. You want to stay for this. Indiana and Duke. Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, all those top-ranked freshmen. 5 of the top 17 from the ESPN 100 in that game next on ESPN. You can watch it on the app. Mike Krzyzewski, Bill Walton and I were talking to him down in Maui, and he said, look, this team does not play like a team with a bunch of freshmen. He feels like they're a pretty cohesive group, and they ran into a darn good Gonzaga team.
They ran into a great team. Remember the name Rob Finney for Indiana? Not in the top 50 recruits. Kid from actually West Lafayette, Indiana, Purdue country, McCutcheon High School. He has played great for Indiana, and if Indiana's going to have any chance in that game, Finney or Devontae Carter, or Green, have to play great for Indiana at the point guard position.
They got a shot?
I do think they do. I think they'll lose it late, but I think they're going to play them a lot tougher than a lot of people are going to give them credit. I'd be shocked if that's anything but a close game.
If it's anything like Gonzaga Duke, it would be one of the best college basketball games of the year very early on. Cunningham hadn't scored in the second half. Now he has.
Every time he shoots it, you think it's going in. A little dribble exchange. He gets in the lane, lifted up. This is a kid that averaged 11, 12 points a game.
Boy, it looks so easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, really easy.
Winston gave it up. Langford barricaded, a foul called on Perry. That's his third.
Cunningham, the transfer from Samford, sensational. He just gets in the lane under control, little step back. Even though he's fading to his left, I thought it was pretty cool. He kept his shoulders square. He didn't turn while he faded. He just faded, didn't fall. It's a big difference. You can fade or you can fall where your shoulders go backwards, Jason.
Why does it matter?
Because if your shoulders go backwards, you're going to shoot the ball short. If your shoulders stay square, you got a better chance to shoot it legit. Short again.
And he knew it right when he released it.
He did. That ball again, it popped out of his hand. It wasn't shot, it was popped.
Tough night for Langford. Drive and kick. Wara. Big shot, Louisville.
How about Cunningham setting that up, getting in the lane?
Wara denied the pass out high to Tillman. Tip called an offensive basket interference against Michigan State. Louisville just doubled the lead on a drive and kick.
Oh, man, you let a good player get in the lane, and Cunningham is a good player. Good players make good decisions. That's their guy. Wara late is where the way Louisville's going to win this game, if they win.
20th annual ACC Big Ten Challenge presented by Continental. 58-52 here. The ACC now trailing by 1 because Penn State flipped it on Virginia Tech, a 1-point win for the Nittany Lions.
That's a little shocking.
Yeah.
Penn State has some good players. Lamar Stevens, really good. Like, really, really good. But they lost Tony Carr. You figure they may slip, and they haven't been great. But, man, that's a heck of a win, beating Virginia Tech, who has played fantastic, beat Purdue.
Yeah, number 13 in the country.
That's not bad.
Coming in.
Big Ten's good. Really good.
Very good league. Michigan State, Michigan, both top 10 teams. We'll see Michigan, North Carolina tomorrow night. And remember, Indiana Duke coming up right after we're done here. Dan Schulman, Jake Filas, and Allison Williams will have the call. Cunningham gave it away. Williams the miss. Can Michigan State finally get itself a fast break point?
Well, no, they can't, because I'll tell you what, Louisville is running. I mean, sprinting back.
Arns hits a three. It's a three-point game.
How about that? Arns probably wouldn't have played but maybe, what, 5-10 minutes? Had McQuaid been here, and he is playing fantastic. Ran right off two guys, two screens onto the baseline. No need to double. You got to make him beat you. Can't do it.
Battle for the rebound. Won by Michigan State and Tillman.
I got a feeling Langford's going to get a bucket here if he can get a decent look.
Winston got caught in the air, got it back. Nice recovery, but a foul called. Sutton popped out, and a touch foul against Dwayne Sutton as Arns has a career high 13 in this game for Michigan State.
He has two dunks, one on a back cut, one on a drive where he turned the corner. He's hit a couple of threes. He's been active on the defensive end. He's been terrific.
30 points a game as a high school senior in the state of Ohio. He hasn't been called on to do that much at Michigan State. He is called on to inbound because they didn't have an inbound.
Well, it was either going to be him or Izzo.
Winston with 10 against Wara. Winston, step back. He got it.
Man, he cleared space. Wara did a good job of moving his feet. He cleared space. Might have been a push-off. Went back 5 feet, drilled it. Kept his elbow under the basketball.
Former Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan. Spartans have 11 of the last 20 of those. He's one of them. McMahon is fouled. He'll get 3 shots.
Watch the left hand of Winston come in here.
That's his 4th, Dan.
And it's the 2nd foul this half, right in that area by reaching. Watch his left hand here. I believe it's the one that gets in there. Can't touch the shooter. And McMahon sold it pretty good.
He's 10 for 10 from the line, by the way. Not the guy you want to foul.
Izzo is saying to Winston, why reach? His exact words. There's no answer to that. You know, you don't reach forward. You put your hand up and into.
Then why is he asking the question if there's no answer?
Because he's like a lawyer. He knows the answer before he asks the question. Here's what you do as a coach. You either say, hey, look, are you not smart enough, or do you not respect the scouting report? Which one is it?
That's what the lawyers call entrapment. They've never lost a November game at the Yum Center. Louisville by 4. Tillman measuring.
No chance.
Agao had it pried free and had enough of the ball to get it away.
There was no way Tillman was scoring over Agao, and great defense by Louisville, staying with shooters, not doubling up on Tillman. Sutton or Agao.
4 had it tipped out of bounds. He got kind of caught in the middle there, didn't he?
Yeah, and they were trying to drive and draw and drop it back to Agao, but 4 did get caught in the middle.
4 comes out. McMahon is in.
Watch inbounds here if they just don't lob it to Wara.
Nope. Wasn't there.
No, but they were looking.
Sutton's had a big night. Sutton off the spin. Had it pinned and taken away by Goins.
Well, I got to look for Langford here. There he is.
Catch and shoot. Langford got the roll.
Just looking at him, you knew the next shot he was going to get, he was going to make. He had settled himself down.
You said it 3 possessions ago.
You could tell. You could just tell by the look.
Michigan State winners of 5 straight since the opening loss to Kansas.
What a great play by Winston right there.
He got in McMahon's kitchen, didn't he?
From the corner, he read it.
Cunningham pulls the trigger. Drew iron. Rebound to Gow. And a foul called against Michigan State. If it was a Gow, it would have been his 5th. Instead, it looks like it's Winston's 5th. He is out of the game, Dan.
Wow. 3 bad reaching fouls in the second half cost them their most valuable player.
They haven't coordinated their hit-the-road jack dance, but that still works out for Louisville.
There's no reason to reach. No reason and he knows it. You just stay out of the way and find the shooter.
We told you Penn State snuck by Virginia Tech. Notre Dame has beaten Illinois, so we're tied at 2 again in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. 20th year of this scheduling dream for most coaches. Get a big game in the non-conference out of it. As Agau goes to the line. He's 2 for 4, and he missed. Foster Loyer, the freshman, is playing point guard with Winston fouled out. Oh, Langford.
Just a Tom Izzo staple. Take the ball away from your shooter, quick pin down and curl, and I'll give Foster Loyer some credit, man. He found the shooter on time and in rhythm.
First lead since 13:52 in the first half for Michigan State. Wara blocked by Tillman. Now one of the best transition teams in the country taps the brakes.
They're dying to throw it inside. Cunningham against Tillman.
Loyer didn't find him. Barnes tried to. Double comes. Extra feed. Loyer. One more out of bounds. He was afraid to pull the trigger.
Tom Izzo's telling him to pull the trigger. Wasn't a bad play, just a bad pass.
What a game.
Great game. Don't leave.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire. For what you do, and in part by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Adnan, thank you. 62-61 last possession for the Spartans.
Well, they're telling Foster Loyer to shoot. I thought he made a pretty good move, just a bad pass, and then he comes over and you see the leader, Cassius Winston, telling him to shoot that. I didn't think he made a bad decision, just a bad pass.
Winston fouled out. Loyer taking over the point guard role. Matt McQuaid didn't make the trip. He is injured, as Molly reported earlier. McMahon. Oh, my goodness.
That's 4 for him, right?
4-3 of the game.
First game he didn't start. Came right out, played hard.
Langford, 4-2. Oh, he's found it now, huh?
All-Americans. All-Americans doing all-American things. And the Dickie V recruit on the other end, they're going nuts with Loyer. They want him up into McMahon. Right here, you'll see him. He's going to have a hand up.
Yeah, visiting hours have been over too many times against McMahon tonight. Tip ball saved by Goins.
And a great play by Loyer to make himself available as Goins was falling out of bounds.
Timeout called by Michigan State. Langford's got the last 7 for the Spartans in this game. Remember, he had 2 points at halftime and no made field goals.
John Loyer, Foster Loyer's dad, is a great guy and was a fantastic coach, and you're going to see a coach's kid here. Rebound comes off, falling out of bounds. He makes himself available and comes back to the ball. That is not a little thing. That is a big thing in basketball.
All right, so if you're Michigan State here, Langford is the guy clearly. How do you get him the ball?
2 things that they like to do. They like to set a series of doubles, double the first guy, then bring Langford off double screens, or they take it away from Langford. He'll be here on the left side. If he's on the left side, they're going to take the ball away and a hard pin down, and he's going to come flying on a curl, or he's going to read it, pop back. But this has to be Langford first and foremost. If not, it's going to be Ward on the block.
How do you counter it if you're Louisville? What are we looking for from them defensively?
Great question. You stay on top of Langford. You don't get even or below Langford, no matter where he is. if he's going to get a bucket, it's going to be a back cut. Back cutting for Michigan State is hard because you have two post guys in there. There's a lot of traffic. I cannot let Langford beat me out for a shot. Here comes a flare right here.
Langford's up top.
There's a flare, and he comes back. There he is.
Williams was there, and a foul going to get called against Louisville. Sutton was lobbying Jamie Luckey. Instead, that's foul number 6 against the Cardinals, so no free throws coming for Michigan State as yet.
It's called a rescreen. They screen and rescreen. You know,
there's a lot of emphasis on illegal screens this year.
That could have been an illegal screen.
Lawyer against Fowler for 2.
Wow!
Beautiful.
Dane Fife told me before the game how tough Lawyer is, and you just saw it right there. Wow! What a move by a freshman in a situation where this place is nuts.
They told him to shoot the ball. He just did. Michigan State leads. Adnan, delighted to have you with us.
Indeed, JB, delighted to be with you because we've got the Duke Blue Devils 5-1 this season, coming off that loss against Gonzaga, trying to avenge against the Indiana Hoosiers. Two big-time schools coming up. But how about this finish, JB?
How about it? This is an awesome game we got. And here's Foster Lawyer, the freshman from the state of Michigan.
Hey, he saw an angle, leaned in, kept his shoulder square, could have had an and one. What a gutsy move by a kid. Look, let's be honest. In this day and age, there are certain kids you can pick on social media. He's one of them, right? I mean, he's not a star, so if you go and you make a bad play, everybody kills you. He did not care. He's a baller and went and made a baller play. Tell you what, I guarantee his dad, who I know, John Lawyer, just jumped through the roof.
Director of scouting for the Clippers. And you see Cassius Winston, he's been trying to pump him up since he fouled out.
Man. All right, where you go here? I like getting Cunningham the ball, let him get to the middle. Been
off the Agau screen. McMahon on the drive, got fouled. He'll go to the line, nearly at a three-point play.
Hey, McMahon gave you a little something in your face right here. Watch the one-handed, a little how's your father with a spin over the backboard. Whoa!
This feels like a tournament game right now, doesn't it? NCAA tournament game.
This does. This feels like a conference championship type game. It's a great arena. This might be the best arena in the country.
First one good for McMahon. And a career night for him. Sports Center after Indiana Duke. Scott Van Pelt, Reese Davis, the college football playoff rankings. Georgia number 4. Jay Billis on Duke so far. We'll see what they do against Indiana and an ultimate bad beat. Sports Center on ESPN and the ESPN app with Scott Van Pelt. 17 for Ryan McMahon, a career high. And now 4 comes in to play defense. McMahon gets rave reviews from the locals in Louisville.
All right. Try to watch, if you can, watch Langford here. Here's the pin down.
Langford on the opposite side.
They took it away from him.
And we have a whistle against the Cardinals. That's the 5th on Akoy Agau.
That doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because you're not going to put a big in for him. You're going to put McMahon in for him anyway.
Chris Mack thought it was a flop. Oof.
I don't get it. You know, Louisville was really, I thought, robbed in the game against Marquette. I thought it was some of the worst officiating I've seen. And that wasn't any better.
Bad missed 3 or 2 call in that game. Ward got the first. So Agau is done. Ward goes 1 for 2. Rebound pinballed out of bounds. And it's Louisville basketball. Adnan.
All right, Jason, just a friendly reminder, Indiana Duke is coming up next. Duke's won 141 straight non-conference home games, the longest active streak in Division I. Jason?
Louisville, meantime, 36-0 in November in this building at the Yum Center. Under a minute to go.
Here comes Wara.
Cunningham, fade away. No! Rebound for Goins.
Boy, I thought they had Wara if Cunningham wanted to kick it, standing right out there left side for a three. Post or Langford?
Goins, no points, 15 boards, and a timeout, Michigan State. They'll have one remaining. 38 and change to go. Can you believe after that ragged first half and beginning to this half, Michigan State's leading under a minute to go?
I can't, because this is, you said it during one of the breaks to me. Tom Izzo and his team are just tough on tough. Let's be honest. They're not going to go away in an environment like this. What I've been impressed with is the other side. I think Louisville, kind of piecing their team together, has come out this year, and particularly tonight, and played as hard as I've seen a team play.
How about Joshua Langford? 2 points in the first half. Second half, he's been awesome.
He wasn't awesome until about the last 5 or 7 minutes. He was bad for a long time in the second half. But I think this right here got him going. Front rim, good bounce, went in. He saw the ball go in, and the next thing you know, here he goes. Look, he has been a first-team All-American to this point. No surprise. Here, I've got to try to find a way to get him the basketball as well.
Remember in the first half, Tom Izzo lit him up.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Langford wasn't playing. In Tom Izzo's words at halftime, he wasn't leading. He wasn't contributing to the team. So Izzo is not afraid to light his best player up. Great.
But he has a short memory as well.
Yeah, look, hey, I'm going to light you up in the first half. Now go get 20 in the second half. I mean, his name is Willie, not silly. I mean, he's not a fool.
Boy, especially with Winston having fouled out, you got to have Langford.
You do, and now they brought in Lawyer, and so they can use Langford off the ball. I'm telling you, this is either going to go inside to Ward, or you're going to see Langford with every opportunity to get a shot. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the wide pin down.
Langford in that corner on the baseline on the left side of your screen. Michigan State has led for just over 3 minutes of this game, and a foul called, sending Lawyer to the line.
Boy, did I like that out of Chris Mack. He let Lawyer get the ball, and they had him pinned in the perfect spot. Oh, was this good by Chris Mack? Watch this, right there.
Oh, man. Foster Lawyer 5 for 5 in his career from the free throw line. 1 and 1. He missed the front end. Sutton the rebound. Where you going here?
I'm finding Wara, or I'm getting in the lane from this guy right here, Cunningham, but I'm not going yet.
Williams the screen. Williams.
That's why I wasn't going yet.
Now Langford sneaks out. Langford double-teamed, threw it away, and a foul on Michigan State. Cunningham's going to the line and net.
All right, JB, Indiana's taking on Duke. You talk about that atmosphere there in Louisville, about 2 minutes away. Look at the scene with the Cameron Crazies. It'll start on the ESPN app if this game is not over yet. Jason, bring it home.
We will see if there's 5 minutes more in store. Cunningham has a chance from the line.
81% free throw shooter, 5th-year grad transfer. That's why you transfer from Sanford to do this on the biggest stage.
Started every one of his games at Sanford. He knows these spots, and he's tied the game for Louisville.
You mentioned earlier, guys transfer up. This is why, right here. 20,000 people, national TV. You're not getting that at Sanford.
For the Louisville lead. He didn't get the roll. Goins got hit in the eye.
Oh, my.
A foul called against Louisville. It's on Williams.
That's a good call. Hey, you don't like it if you're Chris Mack, but if you're Williams, you got to get out of there.
Goins got poked in the eye first.
And then You're hanging up. You just can't do that.
You got him in trouble by poking him in the eye. That didn't get seen, and then you touch him again.
You got to get out of there. You just do. Fight for the next 10 seconds, but get out of there.
Kenny Goins has 16 rebounds. He has had more knee procedures done than he has points in this game. But what a battle he's been in.
Kenny Goins has not taken a shot. Not one shot.
He's gotten his nose broken before, took the mask off, got it busted again. Here he gets poked in the eye.
I swear to you, I've never seen a game where a guy takes no shots and has 16 rebounds. That is Rodman-esque right there. A lot of people say, Albert Dennis Rodman. That is Dennis Rodman right here in this game.
Now, if he can see the basket, he's going to try to give Michigan State the lead. This is a 1-and-1 for Goins.
Eddie Valentine just told me we're going to wait and let him. He pointed at his eye, pointed at me, and said we're going to give him a minute.
Jamie Luckey is going to take a look at Goins.
Look, you got to let.
Luckey says he's okay.
Yeah, you got to let the guy's vision clear up.
1-and-1. He missed the front end. Wara the rebound.
Go to the rim. Just go to the rim. Ball screen, no ball screen. Go to the rim. They're going to call foul if you go to the rim.
McMahon at the buzzer. No, we're going to overtime.
You had to force. You got to know that referees are human, and you had to force the referee to make a call, and you do that with Cunningham taking one extra dribble. Instead, he turned, kicked, and then you have overtime. And our executives are crying because they're dying for Duke, Indiana.
67-67, 5 minutes on the clock. Dan Schulman, Indiana and Duke. What you got, Dan?
All right, Jason, what we got is a 2-2 tie in the first minute here at Cameron. After that reverse layup by Romeo Langford. Zion Williamson with the first bucket of the game for Duke. And a great atmosphere as always here at Cameron. The Blue Devils and the Hoosiers both 5-1 on the season. Of course, Duke's loss out at Maui against Gonzaga. Indiana's only loss was a 1-point defeat at Arkansas. Williamson on the follow.
That ball was below the rim when it was corralled by Duke. And if Zion Williamson is going to get things that easy, it is going to be a long night for Indiana.
Nice cut, and reaching in, though, is Reddish to knock it away. And Duke with numbers to the other end. Reddish wide open for three. We're off and running here. More basketball from Jason Benetti's game. Jason, take it away.
Dan, thank you so much. Zion Williamson, you heard, showing himself already in that Duke-Indiana game, which is coming up. You see Darius Perry in the huddle, number 2 for Louisville. He played in high school with Zion Williamson, so a little interest in that game, but we have 5 more minutes to go in this one. If that game is anything like this game, it's a fantastic doubleheader tonight, and Duke usually always shows you that.
I say this.
What's that?
Mostly because I have no life, and this is all I do is watch college hoops or do college hoops games. Every night, college hoops delivers. Every night, Jason.
Yep.
I mean, I'm telling you, this has been unbelievable. Louisville, great. Michigan State, great. Guys that fouled out. You got Foster Lawyer in.
Arns, the miss, rebound for Wara.
This is a statistic that I did not make up, but I don't know where I got it. 75% of the time, the team that scores first in overtime wins.
Well, Louisville's had enough overtime recently. Cunningham, the rim run for 2.
Inexcusable. A little high up screen. And all you got to do is help off the screener. Didn't recognize it. Cunningham layup.
2 outstanding games. This one, and Indiana Duke to follow. This is an offensive foul against Ward, his 4th personal.
Ward was going. I mean, Ward was going right here. There was nothing but shoulder down. All right, let me show you what happened on the previous play right here. You're going to see Ward. He's got to give a little bit. He doesn't. Here comes the up screen. You guard the basket first. He's hugging his man. Nobody's there. Layup.
So Ward comes out. They changed one of his fouls, so he's only got 3. Boy, McMahon has had a lot of gumption in this game. Tipped away, though. Loyer, the freshman. Bounce feed for Arns. What a finish.
Hey, Arns sprinted. I mean, Usain Bolt-like. He went flying, and give Loyer great credit, man. He found him on the run, on the money.
Michigan State has been better in transition with Loyer at the point than anybody else tonight. You agree?
Weird, yes.
Cunningham nearly traveled.
You got to be careful.
And McMahon threw a shoulder, but a foul called on Loyer.
I was just going to say, you got to be careful not to get too close. You're going to see transition right here. Arns just comes flying. You can see he is in a dead sprint. Runs by the entire Louisville team, and Loyer with his head up with a great pass.
Would you expect anything less from Michigan State and Louisville, teams that have played now 11 times, 3 of those in regional finals? So you got these 2 marquee names, Indiana Duke coming up next. That game on the ESPN app right now.
What a great night. What a great week of hoops.
Ooh. Missed it strong.
Yeah, that shot out of his hand. I got to go to Langford here.
There he is, Joshua Langford. Junior guard with his running mate fouled out. Langford sinks it for the lead.
Man, he got the matchup he wanted because Malik Williams is not a great defensive player out on the floor, and Langford stepped back and lost him 10 feet.
The co-captain for Michigan State, and we have contact and a whistle against the Spartans and Loyer.
Man, Loyer knocked it off of Louisville's guy, but the collision is the foul. Hey, look, you're not a Michigan State player until you get ripped on the sidelines. Always felt that at Indiana. You were an Indiana player until Coach Knight lit you up.
And then?
Then you go be an Indiana player. Now Loyer's a player. I love Loyer.
He's had a bunch of important minutes late in this game with Winston fouling out.
Hasn't flinched.
McMahon got it. Again, it is amazing. Louisville in November in this building, since it replaced Freedom Hall, is 36-0.
I'd have to look at that schedule.
They've beaten everybody. It almost doesn't matter.
Matters a little.
20 for McMahon, a career high.
He's been great. And again, first game he hasn't started. Didn't salt, came out, busted it. I'm going to Langford again.
You got a guy who 42 of his 54 makes last year with threes, driving to the bucket. McMahon at points tonight.
There's a pin down.
Boy, 4 is right with Langford. And they're going to foul first against Quan 4 before Langford extended the arm.
And I'm anxious to see it, but it was a good call because if they didn't call that, that would have been a foul on Langford because he absolutely extended his arm. 4 is great. I love this kid. Watch him fight over the screen here. Well, I don't know. I think that's a foul on Langford from the get-go.
That ties the game.
Man, it's 4 tough. Look at him fighting through. I think that's offensive foul.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, that's you got at some point in basketball, give some credit to the defense.
Michigan State leads again. The sensation of March is in the air here in Louisville. Where do you go for points?
You got to see Warren get a shot somewhere. Aarons has done a nice job.
Catch and shoot.
No, I didn't. I'm telling you, that was too far out. He was about 2 steps beyond where he was comfortable.
So now the freshman out of Clarkston, Michigan, Foster Loyer. 12th all-time in the state in scoring. The navigator for Michigan State.
Oh, is that good?
Tillman missed it on the welcome mat.
There was that pin down, but Tillman slipped it. Bothered a little bit at the rim. I got to get War a shot.
There he is. He's got his shot. And 3.
Got to.
DJ and Allison. You've got a lot to live up to in Duke, Indiana next. Langford, one leg.
Bad shot, good defense. Langford read it, popped back, got lazy. I'm going to war again. He has to at least get a look here.
McMahon the screen. Cunningham bumped and fouled by Lawyer.
Let me tell you why McMahon set the ball screen and not a big. They want Cunningham going at Lawyer.
He's unraveling a little bit right now.
Little bit, but it's in a bad situation. He's being asked to guard a kid who's really quick and a veteran. So you set a guard-to-guard screen. You know Michigan State's going to switch it, and you go right at Lawyer because that kid's out.
Cassius Winston fouled out. He's still playing well, but you saw the spike of the basketball by Lawyer right after the foul. He's in his own head just a little bit.
See, I think that's what gets him into this game, is that he's that kind of tough and that kind of tough on himself.
So you like that?
I love it. I don't think he can play at this level if he doesn't have some of that. Played for a great high school coach, Dan Fine. You don't need a three. You don't need to get excited. The ball going to Ward isn't a bad thing here. And looking for Aarons for a jump shot out of inside out.
Pressure comes on Tillman. He lost the ball to double.
Three bigs in there right now. Not very comfortable. Goins off balance. Threw it to Tillman. Off balance. Lost it.
1 minute left.
Let's pick and pop with Ward. Oh.
He fades to the wing. Cunningham on Arns. He shoved him away. Offensive foul on Kristen Cunningham.
They wanted that matchup, though. That Chris Mack is playing matchups.
Let's go to Adnan.
All right, JB, an update on Duke. This game's over on ESPN News and the app. It's the Hoosiers and the Blue Devils. There's Zion Williamson already bringing the heat. 15-8 Duke. It's game's coming up, JB.
What a game that's going to be. We got a foul called. Timeout first.
It was
timeout before a foul.
Hey, but I'm telling you, Ford made a great play. He almost got a push-off for a foul. Love that kid.
Tom Izzo, watch him calling for the timeout.
Watch his push, though. Boom.
Which came first?
I thought the push, but hey, I thought there was a flop, too, though.
I think timeout first.
All right.
Duke, Indiana coming up after this one. We're in overtime. Michigan State, Louisville. Molly McGrath, Dan Doggett, Jason Benetti, our entire crew. What a night.
Yeah, three-point game.
Yeah.
You don't need a three. Like, if you pin down for somebody, you don't need a three. What isn't a bad move here is my man Tom Izzo setting something up to drive the baseline. Drive either the lane or the baseline. Keep Arns opposite, and kick it to him based on too much help from Louisville. If you're Louisville, you just don't leave Arns. You just don't leave Langford. If they make a tough two, they make a tough two. But you do not lose sight of those two guys. In fact, I would add Goins to that, certainly from the top of the key, because that's a shot he loves.
Would you put Lawyer back in the game?
I would not. I would not put him back in the game right here. I would let Langford have the basketball, and I'll tell you why, and this may sound weird, but referees are calling fouls right now, and I want Josh Langford to drive it. Sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about right here. 76-73. Louisville the lead. And an electric atmosphere. You saw a little Donovan Mitchell hanging out in the crowd. They love their basketball in Louisville.
It's insane, and I absolutely love it. I mean, look. Rush Ulysses is here. Is that what he was called? Russ Smith?
Yep.
He's here.
Rusticulous.
Rusticulous.
Yeah.
This is a great crowd. It's a great basketball town. This is a great town. 4th Street's fantastic. The Aloft last night, fantastic. I've enjoyed it.
Then we got Indiana Duke coming up next.
I'll enjoy that with you somewhere.
Even at 15-8. The last score we heard, you think Indiana's got a shot in that game?
Yeah, I think they're going to play down the stretch, and I think they're going to lose it late by 8 to 12 points, somewhere like that. It would shock me if Indiana got blown out.
But if you're getting to know some of the best young talent in college basketball, you're going to see that coming up next. As 76-73 is on the board here. Michigan State winners at 5 in a row, number 9 in the country. Louisville's lost 2 straight against Tennessee and Marquette.
You asked me, Izzo's a Hall of Famer. I'm sitting here talking to you, lawyer in the game.
The freshman point guard, Cassius Winston, has fouled out, so the freshman lawyer is in. Junior Winston is fouled out. Barnes.
Here comes Langford.
There he is, catch and shoot. Left it short, rebound for Sutton. Got a foul here.
Got a foul. Have to foul. Izzo screaming for someone to foul. Finally, he sees it.
It's Langford. That's his 4th. Double bonus for Cunningham and Louisville. First one. Oh, yeah, the home bounce. Cassius Winston fouled out earlier, part of this junior-heavy team for Michigan State. One for 2. Langford behind the back. Into the post. Ward for 2. 15 seconds left and a timeout, Michigan State.
Smart. Smart. I thought Langford might force that. He found Ward. Number one thing now, you got to get the basketball in bounds. Smart. Very smart. Everybody overloads, stayed with the shooter, which was smart as well. Give up the 2. Don't give up the 3.
So Nick Ward, the junior, gets himself 2. Indiana Duke coming up next. That game on ESPN News and the ESPN app right now. Got to pick somebody to foul here, and Louisville has been a very good free throw shooting team as a group. 77% for the year. They're 71% tonight.
Well, if you're going to pick somebody, Cunningham just missed, but he's 81% coming into the game. But he did just miss.
And he's 3 for 6 tonight.
Yes, so you have to look at that. And Cunningham is going to be the guy with enough quickness to go get the basketball. Wara, you feel like he'll make. I wouldn't mind if I were Michigan State. I would absolutely foul. If I could do it before the ball's in bounds, I would foul number 5, Williams.
He came in 11 for 21 from the line this year.
I would almost let him get the ball.
McMahon gets torn down. McMahon hobbling the other way. By the way, Indiana Duke coming up. It's 22-10, the Blue Devils, with an early stronghold on the lead. We'll get there right when we're done here. Jay Billis, Dan Shulman, Allison Williams with the call.
My Indiana prediction looks as good as my tweet about Jeff Brown.
And your hair. McMahon, see if he's got enough leg strength after getting ripped down to the ground. For a 2-possession game. A career night for Ryan McMahon. And he builds 21 points for the junior out of Sarasota.
What a night. First game doesn't start. Look at that. That's if he misses this, I'll buy you dinner.
That was to everybody out there in TV land. He's got it.
You could just tell he was not missing that. You could tell he was loving this environment.
McMahon was nursing his scrapes, and Tom Izzo has been wild on the sideline tonight. High emotions this evening across the board.
Right from the get-go. This has a feel of we're playing for something big. That kid came up big, McMahon, all night.
Doesn't it feel like winner goes to the Final Four?
Yeah.
Winner goes to the championship game.
You know, in some ways it feels better because so many times in the big domes in the NCAA tournament, there isn't that partisan of a crowd. This crowd came ready for battle. It came ready for a party. And McMahon, Cunningham gave it to him.
Now, look, this is a big arena, one of the biggest in college basketball. It feels like the fans are right on top of it.
That's why I say it's one of the great, if not the best, basketball arenas. I'm not talking about hockey or all the amenities. I'm just talking about in here, the fans are literally on top of you, and they're loud, and they're crazy, and I love it.
Even McLovin is here.
He's everywhere.
79-75.
There's time here. You go to the rim. You don't need a crazy three. You try to get the basketball. You maybe get it back to Langford on the run if you can. You should be sprinting to get it back. And now you go to the rim or pull up.
Langford, points, corner, three. Oh. Good! Huge shot for Gabe Brown. His second three of the game. 8 seconds left.
Izzo wondered who called timeout. Louisville called timeout. How about Gabe Brown? 1 for 3 coming into the game. Biggest pressure situation he's ever been in.
Looked like he's been doing it for decades.
This is a great inbounds. Get the ball down on the run, spread the court. I don't know why somebody wasn't out there guarding him, but nobody was. And next thing you know, Goins made a great play with the extra pass, and Gabe Brown drilled it.
Now look, Michigan State's managers lost by 41 to Louisville. We knew we were going to have a better game than that. This has turned into one of the top games of the season so far.
All right, here's why you don't give up a three. You'd make them make a tough two. Now, Michigan State will have a chance to tie this game because it's a 1-point game. You make 2 free. It's a 3-point game if you make 2 free throws.
Now you can't have Langford fouling anybody here. He's got 4 personal fouls. It's going to be Brown in the corner fouling McMahon. 7.1 to go. This is the opener of our twin bill. Indiana Duke coming up next. Tom Izzo needs something to lean on right now.
If you make both. I am fouling every time. There are no timeouts left for Michigan State. You make them both. It's a 3-point game. You let them dribble 2 or 3 times, keep them going on a sideline, and foul.
McMahon got it. Duke up 24-12. That's coming up next. Louisville up 2 here. The freshmen Bingham and Henry and Lawyer all watching. A gal fouled out a while ago. McMahon, the best night he's had in a Cardinal jersey, 24 points.
I'm telling you, you get up front, you pressure them, you get it under 5 to 4 seconds, and you foul.
No timeouts left either way.
Coming. Here goes Langford.
Langford gets fouled. There it is.
Smart had to. Now, here's the problem with that. There is no better offensive rebounding team historically. So you're going to see Langford make the first one, miss the second one, preferably, if you can, off back iron.
And that's why Enoch just went to the scorer's table for Louisville.
Cunningham, I would imagine, is going to come out, or 4 is going to come out.
Now you got to make the first one here against that Sioux. He didn't. Now what?
Well, now I think you have to miss it. And you've got to tip it back.
Or kick it out.
And kick it out. I'm saying tip it back to Brown or tip it back to Arns. But if you are Louisville, you got to get in front of those 2 guys. See, you can tip it back if you can to Arns on the right side.
Tillman and Ward on the free throw line for Michigan State. Langford didn't hit rim. It's Louisville basketball.
Wow.
Tom Izzo, if you read lips, Josh, you got to hit the rim.
Man, that shocks me that a kid with that experience doesn't know you have to hit the rim. I mean, you miss a free throw, fine, but you got to know you got to hit the rim.
Tom Izzo is asking for an audience from his bench. What was he doing, was the question to everybody else in green. Bert Smith will come over and tell Dan what the conversation was about. What's the word from Bert Smith?
No time was taken off. The other team violated. It was a violation, not hitting the rim, so you can sub without the clock moving.
Question was substitutions. Michigan State, winners of 5 straight, in dire trouble here. Indiana and Duke next. At last check, 24-12 Duke.
Great move by Wara. Great move. Set it, just slipped it, went, made himself available.
Michigan State, which has not led for much of this game at all, was down 12 against Louisville in the first half. May have reached the end of the line. Cassius Winston fouled out in regulation. Wara did not get it.
If you miss this one, you foul immediately.
Against one of the best transition teams in college basketball.
You cannot let that ball get outletted.
But what if you foul and they're shooting? Can't do that. Wara.
Doesn't matter.
4-point game. Langford up ahead. That is it. Louisville still unbeaten in November, all time in this building. A signature win for Chris Mack and the Cardinals. 82-78 for Molly and Dan and our crew. I'm Jason. ACC up 3-2. Can Duke build on that? Dan, show them and take it.